Gentleman from St. Louis County has moved for the adoption of the Conference Committee Report for Senate Committee Substitute for House Committee Substitute for House Bill 2003 as amended. Gentleman from St. Louis County.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. House Bill 2003 is the higher education budget. Some of the new decision items, we had a $43 million increase to higher education institutions for performance funding. This is the 5% increase. A $15 million GR increase to Access Missouri Scholarship Program. That's approximately a 15% increase in this award amount. A $6 million GR increase for the community colleges to address sector equity issues. $7 million GR increase for Bright Flight Loan Program. $6.7 million GR increase for the A+ Scholarship Program to ensure full funding of that program. A $1.5 million GR increase for telehealth. The ECHO project, a $1.4 million GR increase for UMSL equity, a $500,000 increase for Lincoln Federal match, a $483,000 increase for State Historical Society, operations, a $300,000 increase for the International Collaboration Program at UMSL. Those are just a few of the items. I'll be happy to answer any questions, Mr. Speaker, and I renew my motion.
I wanted to just highlight a few things that I know that I've been fighting for, just personally. A lot of us have. We actually were able to get a Bright Flight increase there this year, and that was really good because I know that's something that's gotten withheld in the past, but it was good that that actually came over as a governor's rec this year as well. I was a little disappointed that the loan program, what happened with that, but again, maybe that's something we can revisit next year because I think there's a real good solid basis there for that.
I think you're right, Lee. I think you can revisit it next year.
Yes.
I'll be visiting someplace else.
Right, agree with you. And I thought a very good compromise was the for the performance funding. We found a good compromise, between the 3 and the 5. We came up with 4, and you were able to allocate some. Oh, 5. We did go. I thought we came down to my mistake then. Okay. All right.
Yes. Yeah, lady. It was.
Okay.
We had sent over 3. They had 5. I was not able to get the Senate Appropriations Chairman to budge on that at all. So
oh, okay. I'm sorry. I thought we
were trying. Believe you
Okay.
me, we were trying.
Okay. Well, we'll try harder next year. One thing I want to really thank you for is working with me was the Lincoln. We got a line item in there, $500,000 for their federal pull down, which was really important to them because they've been leaving a lot of federal dollars on the table. And it's not just a matter of equity. It's about economic development because they have a really good, solid plan about how they're going to invest those dollars and create some economic development, and not just this area, but back in St. Louis and other places as well.
I agree with you, lady. It's a good
Cortex.
program. I'm
Yeah.
glad you were pushing. A lot of people in the body on both sides were asking for this to be restored or actually put in the budget.
Right. So thank you for your efforts. I really do appreciate that and being patient with me as I hounded you on that issue. So I forgot to mention my early literacy money. I didn't have to fight for that this year with anybody, so that was a good thing.
Let's hope it's not withheld.
Exactly. The Access Scholarship, I would have loved for us to hold the House position, but honestly, I was quite pleased with the compromise we came up with. We didn't lose a lot from our position.
On our side, we put more money into the scholarships for the students and less money into the performance funding, for which I would say were primarily going to administrators and professors at the colleges. But we had to make a compromise, and this is where we ended up.
And I think we ended up getting a good compromise because I think a lot of folks would have liked to see more dollars, and I think you and I share the same philosophy on that particular issue. But again, I think all in all, we have some good compromise here. We've got a good bill that we're putting forward, and I hope encourage everyone to vote for that. Thank you again for your work. I think we forged some really good compromises here. I think there are some areas that we can and we should revisit next year. But in all, I'm pretty pleased with the budget that we have here in House Bill 3, and I would encourage the body to vote yes on this bill. Thank you.
One of our good friends, and
a former representative here,
and I want to thank you so much for being open to the ECHO project and including the funding in that, and just understanding the vision of increasing the reach of healthcare into our underserved areas through telemedicine, really video conferencing of healthcare. So on the floor today, I want to be sure to thank you for that.
Well, thank you, lady. I appreciate it. It's a great program, and as you said, it will save lives first.
Yes.
Because doctors will be able to do these video conferences without having to leave their offices, basically, and spend money to travel to different places. They can actually learn every week, as it was described to me. They can go on a teleconference and learn about a particular disease or illness that they can treat immediately in their offices. So it really is a great program that the medical community has developed. And again, it saves lives as well as dollars.
As well as dollars. Thank you again.
You're welcome, lady. Thank you.
House Bill 3, 2003 does have some very important increases in scholarships, Access Missouri, Bright Flight, some funding for our colleges. But I do, again, look to where we were about 5 years ago. We were funding Access Missouri at about $90,000. We have not gotten back to where we were at that time. Bright Flight, we have not gotten back to where we were at that time. We've had massive cuts to higher education. When I was a member of St. Louis Community College Board of Trustees, and during the time I served in this legislature, we shifted funding from the state, which was at that time about 40% of the cost of a college education, down to 29% of the cost of funding at the community college level. So we are trying to eke back a little at a time. That's admirable. But we are nowhere close to where we used to be. And we have made scholarships, we have made it much more difficult for the students in Missouri to go to college. And we have made it really almost imperative for them to take out huge loans if they happen to feel that this is important. And I think everyone in this body understands that going beyond high school is absolutely essential in order to be successful in our world today. You cannot be successful if you don't have something beyond a high school education. And we have not gotten back to where we were 6 years ago. We are not back there. And so, Mr. Speaker, I applaud the priorities of putting more money back into higher education. We needed to put a lot more back into it. Again, it will be difficult going forward after 2017 to ever go back to where we were. And so I just wanted to bring those points out. This is a nice step. We will have 2 years to make improvements to education, and then we will be stranglehold from then going forward. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Good morning, gentlemen. I just wanted to take a second and, a lot of times on this floor we are, I've said this before, we're defined by partisanship and we're defined by the things that divide us. But I want to take a second and personally thank you and thank the budget chair as well throughout the process of figuring out how we were gonna fund higher education. You and I worked together to provide some new funds in committee that strengthened our position going out of the House. That position was made even better in the Senate. But I think it's important for us to take a moment in the midst of what will probably be a pretty, hopefully a fairly nonpartisan last week or so, and draw attention to folks that there are times where we can work together, and there are times where we can see that investments made in critical areas can make a difference. And you have been a leader in that in all of your time down here, all 77 years. And I wanted to take a second and personally thank you and for all of the great work that you've done, and let you describe how you've seen that process as well.
You know, this is not partisanship working together for the state dog. This is partisanship working together to take higher education up by 5%. This is nonpartisanship working together to increase the student loan programs. And do I wish there was more of these things? Yes. But you know what? It's better to be one step from hell going up than one step from heaven going down. And we're on the way up around here, and I hope we can keep it up. And you contributed to that, as did all of our Boone County delegation and all the budget committee. I'm so grateful.
And I'm pretty sure I'm going to tweet that comment that you just made. So thank you, Mr. Speaker. Thank you, gentlemen.
All those in favor will vote yes. All those opposed will vote no. Mr. Clerk, please ring the bell and open the board. Gentleman from Clay, Neff District, if you're in the chamber, must vote.